This is Nick from Boston, and this is the Katie Black Show.
Hello, welcome to the Katie Black Show YouTube channel. Today I'm honored to have two guests with me. If you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Nicole Hanks.
And I'm Camille Maara.
Hello, welcome. Well, first off, before I get into everything, I understand that you guys have known each other for like some 20 years or so.
20 plus years. I don't even want to do the math. It's kind of scary. But yeah, quite a while.
How did y'all connect?
You tell the story.
No, I don't remember some of it.
Oh, okay. So I was good friends. She was, what shift did you do? You worked overnights, I think, for a radio station.
Probably. Yeah.
And I think some weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did some weekends too. And I knew a couple of people who worked at the same radio station. We all kind of went out one night and we connected. We were ordering drinks at the bar and had to show our ID. And the bartender, was very clever. He recognized that both of us had the same birthday. And
he thought they were fake. They weren't fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it's been magic since then. We were like, oh my God, we have to be friends. We were born on the same day.
Yeah.
Birthday twins, what sign?
Leo.
That's what's up. I'm Sagittarius, so part of the same kind of like fire family.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We got that fire.
That's right. So do y'all. Well, before I get into the organization, how did you guys get here, located here in Charlotte? Because I'm assuming that you guys connected in another state. Is that correct or no?
No, we actually are here. I grew up here, but then moved away for radio for 20 years. And so we've been best friends since. I mean, wherever my husband and I moved, she would come visit. We've lived in a bunch of different places, awesome places, and she would come and visit everywhere we went. So no, we moved back here 2.5 years ago, and This is where we were supposed to be. We were supposed to settle back here in Charlotte. So,
oh my gosh, I was born and raised here in Charlotte.
Very cool.
Oh wow! And you guys are like like you should have your own club because there's not very many.
No, there's
that
not.
Are still here that were born here.
Right.
And that's even like my embarrassment of just assuming, because I just assume that like it's
that
nobody was here. Yeah.
No, and like I said, I left for 20 years, and when I came back, it's a totally different city. I mean, 20 years is a lot of change, a lot of buildings. Near my neighborhood that I live in, the one that I grew up in, actually, and it's weird because near us used to be just all dirt, like there was nothing there. It was just fields and fields and fields, and now obviously it's all housing, but. It's just crazy to see the change.
It really is like a fever dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait, because I moved away for a little bit too. I'm like, wait, what? I cannot keep up.
What happened?
That used to be a Best Buy, and now it's a Walmart. Like, you're like, what's happening? Like, it's all so different. I've been here since I was 4, and I've never moved away. So seeing all of the changes just keep happening, and every year it's something else, and it's a new area, and someone will call it something like I think the newest one that kind of threw me off was Lower South End, and I'm like, what is that? What is LOSO? What is what is that?
LOSO.
They're like South Boulevard. Well, just say South Boulevard. What is that?
Same energy. Well, if you've been, I mean, we're all kind of, sounds like we're Charlotteans. But before I get into Charlotte Angels, of course, I want to just real quick, since you guys connected under the like maybe radio umbrella, any thoughts of like that industry and how it's like evolved or?
Oh my gosh, it's evolved so much over the years. I mean, I started when I was like 18, and it's very, very different. I don't think in a bad way. I mean, with anything, technology, all of the things that have kind of over the last 20 years, I mean, it's different than even just 5 years ago. So I don't think it's bad. I think it's just so many people are so quick to say radio's dying or radio's dead. I don't think so. I think it's just changing.
That's fair.
In a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Well, Obviously, would love to talk about Charlotte Angels. Was curious how that y'all's connection evolved with the organization.
So Charlotte Angels is a regional chapter of a national organization. So there's 21, 22 chapters all across the country. And my love and passion for it, I was actually still living out west before I came back here when I got involved in a chapter there. And I was led to that because of my own experience with foster care and adoption and infertility as well. But foster care, our oldest son was in foster care for 6 years before we adopted him. So he experienced a lot during those 6 years that really turned into a lot of just that trauma. There's a lot of lifelong trauma that comes from those things, especially during such an important developmental time in their life. So he's 19 now. So he was 6 and he's now 19. It's been a long time, but we have seen those struggles play out and what that looks like. And the programs that the Angels organization provides really make such an impact that's where my heart is, because I know how hard it was with him. And then if we would have had these programs, it would have been totally different. So over half of licensed foster homes close within the first year because there's just not a lot of support for the for the caregivers. And they're taking kids to school and therapy and doctor's appointments and then just trying to run a household. Mm-hmm. And it can be really overwhelming. So when they close their doors and they say, we can't do this anymore, then those kids get bounced to another home and then maybe another home. And they could do 10. My son was in 12 homes in that time that he was in care. And every time, I mean, imagine it's being ripped out of where you're finally feeling comfortable and safe, going somewhere else where it's scary at that age. I mean, I'd be scared now at this age, like going to some random place with strangers and now you're supposed to sleep in a bed that you've never been in before. So our programs are meant to provide support to those families so that they can keep their doors open and those kids can stay in those homes and have consistency and stability and help lessen that trauma.
That's amazing. Yeah, I guess just my grandmother was in the foster community and there's just so many, she's passed away now. And it's like, I don't know, always with friends or family member that passed away, you're like, oh, I wish I would have asked more or discovered more about what the experience was like. But I guess just for anyone, or I was watching us, especially in the Charlotte area, if someone wants to get involved, like what can they do?
They can go to our website, which is charlotteangels.org. You can read all about the programs that we have. We have 2 programs. Love Box works with the entire family, not just the child experiencing foster care, but also caregivers and any other children that are in the home. And that volunteer will go and support them and work with them and build a sustainable relationship and be consistent in that home for at minimum a year. And then we have the Dare to Dream, which is our mentor-mentee program with a teenager that is going to age out of foster care. And they can kind of give them some life skills. You can go to our website, charlotteangels.org, learn all about our programs, learn all about who we are, what we have going on. And you can also go there and sign up to be a volunteer. Or you can refer a family if you know a family that can benefit from our services. Our services are free to the families that come into the program. So they're not coming out of pocket. It's not something for them to manage. It's nothing extra for them to do except receive some extra love, support, and care.
That's amazing. Well, first of all, I props to both of you for being so involved and being a voice.
Thank you.
Because we've been friends for so long, her pull in this, I guess we should have said, is that she is my oldest son's godmother. So she has been a part of, seen that from the get-go and seen how important these are. And so that's where her heart comes in and her passion for this too.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So y'all are like family.
Yes, we are a family. We have escaped the friendship realm of us. Probably
a long time ago.
Long time ago. We are now sisters. So we are family. That's my family.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, this is cool. This is cool. Well, anything that before we promote the upcoming gala in October, is there anything that, and I mean, I'm sure there's so many things, but is there any like a common thread or common theme that you guys have observed these years working in this, in the under the Charlotte Angels, or just even your experience with your son? Or
I think Camille should answer this too, but I think for me, just the first thing that comes to my mind is that when we talk about Charlotte Angels and we talk about our programs and what we do, a lot of people forget that these kids grow up to be adults, and that these kids are these sweet, innocent little faces that you just want to like do all the things for. And that they grow up to be adults in our community, and we want them to be successful. We want them to grow up to be able to have life skills. We want them to be able to have healthy relationships. And that's one of the biggest things that I've seen with my son too, is it's very difficult to build lasting relationships, to have trust. I mean, imagine if ever, with everything he's been through, to be able to trust somebody. Yeah, right. Like, you keep everybody at arm's length. So being able to have these programs and have these relationships that they can build on and know and trust people, so that their adulthood and their relationships in the future are successful.
I would say the same. I mean, that was literally what I was going to say, is that we want folks to realize that, yes, some of the children that are in our programs are young. They are, 3, 4, 5 years old, which is, especially around holidays, where everyone's heart draws to. They're like, oh my goodness, let's help the 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds out. But these teenagers, man, they are very well aware of their situation, and it brings me so much joy to know that we can change the statistics for them, that they don't have to think that this is their life, this is what's going to happen. Because, being in the program or being in foster care, they are told so often what they don't have, what they can't have, it's a lot of not knows. Mm-hmm. So I am more adamant about them learning that, the world is your oyster. Go out there and learn, and whatever it is you want to do when you turn 18, 19 years old, you can do it. And if you get the right people involved with you, if you are able to have a mentor help walk you through, their knowledge can literally change the trajectory of your life. It can literally let you know you can go to college, you can get a job, you can get your own housing, and you can be a member of our society that can go on to do greater things. You don't have to be the statistic.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things too, one of our sayings is relationship trauma can only be healed relationally. Like that's what programs are. And relationships heal trauma. Like you have to really think about it, let that sink in, that they truly, truly do. And that's 100% what our programs and what we are, we're not going to stop. Our whole other slogan is until every child's reached. Like, we want to reach more and more children every year. And that's what we're doing.
That's amazing. Like I said, and it's also too, like, I'm marinating and like processing as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to become a mentor, does that mean that like you get like connected with a child and you're with them for so many years, or how does that work?
So you have to go, it's a process. So we almost call it like a dating show process. We literally will interview volunteers that fill out an application on our website. We go through the process of having an initial conversation with them, kind of fill out where they are, see if they are aware that we are kind of not like, we're similar to other programs, but we're not like other programs too. So we don't just immediately give you a child and just like, okay, here you go be in their life. You have to have training. You have to have trauma training. You go through where you can get all your questions answered before you're ever put in a situation where you're dealing with a child, because we want to protect them first and foremost, and as well as protect our volunteers too. So it is a dual program that benefits both parties, and it's not just something we kind of jump into lightly. So we definitely are very careful about how we match. We make sure that we match based on zip codes, so that, there's nothing that's going to be in your way. Like, I would hate to match someone who lives in Gastonia with someone who lives in, like, I don't know, South Charlotte, because 485 is a parking lot most times. And we don't want anything that kind of prevents you from being able to reach that child if you need to.
Mm-hmm. The matching is very intentional. I mean, like she said, the location, but even interests. I mean, we want that to be a successful match. We want them to be there for the long haul. And that's what the whole purpose is. So it is a very intentional process.
Mm-hmm. I understand. And trauma, so like my kind of, I don't know if this is my background, but I am just a big nut of studying anything anthropology, essentially, or going on in the media. And I've noticed that trauma has been talked about a lot more in the last few years than like ever before. And
mental health, self-care, all of those things. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And do you think I'm all about generational too? Do you think that is something that, millennials, I don't know, not to confine it to millennials, but I always say babies born between 1981 and 1996. Do you think that's generationally that they are like, we were neglected of this, so let's bring this to the forefront, or any thoughts? Or
I think so. I'm the millennial age range you just mentioned, so I'm just like,
aren't we the geriatric? So. I think we're geriatric.
I'm not geriatric. Do not.
I think that's what
that
we're
is a very unkind word. Do not say that word. No, I'm one of those millennials. One of them, and I think so. I think that every generation, I wish I had probably almost studied this in college, because I'm very intrigued by it. Like, I think that how different generations were raised, and how they're born, and how they carry that on to their children. And yes, from that age group, our parents were not, daily talking to us about, yes, go get some therapy sessions in. And, they didn't talk to us about how to take care of yourself and how to take care of your mind. I mean, a lot of that was always about physical. I can remember just all of the gym craze, and like Richard Simmons, like all that type of stuff was so popular then, but nobody focused on your brain. Mm-hmm. And like really healing that part of your body as well. So I think we
also kept a lot of things in, right? We kind of, you didn't talk about a lot of stuff, and that communication factor wasn't there. It was kind of like seen, not heard.
Yep. Definitely seen, not heard. And that's exactly what comes to mind for that age group. And I think all of us are now at an age where we're like, I'm not passing that on. I'm not going to do that again. I see that, and I feel like once you deal with it, and you can find some type of healing from it, and find some type of exercises that will help you mentally daily, like meditation or any of these things, yoga that people are doing. I think that's the reason why so many of us are involved in that realm too, is because you don't want to pass it on. You are very, very aware of what it is now.
And I didn't even realize that so she has a 4-year-old, and then I also have an 8-year-old, and they're very close. They're 4 years apart, but they are very close. And hearing them say, or hearing one of them say something where they talk about their emotions, or like, I'm feeling really sad right now, or that really hurt my feelings. I remember the very first time I heard them say that. And it's like, that's what we're trying to do, is get them to, first of all, be aware of that, but mm-hmm. also be able to verbalize it. And we didn't really do that in our generation, or when we were that age.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I agree. Or I even remember just like thinking to myself, like in elementary school, like, I don't remember the scenario, but just like I got hurt on the playground or something. And I remember being like, do not cry.
Yeah. Suck it up.
Yes.
Yeah. Brush it off. Yeah.
You better not let anyone see you cry. But I'm like, what? I was like, you know what I mean? But I'm a millennial. I connect with all of that. We're just, parents were like, go to school. Yeah. Just the be seen, not heard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're all trying to maybe at a place in our life where we're trying to like unwind that for ourselves, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Maybe
that's true. I think we're working through it for ourselves, so it kind of spills over to our children too. They see everything we see. And I think that's also a thing. Like, I don't know if my mom or dad, I mean, it's no fault of their own, but I don't think they necessarily cared that I saw whatever it is they were doing or whatever they didn't do. Like, you pick up both. So I don't think they paid attention to that. Even now, I don't even think they really pay attention to, I can pick up on your emotions and how you deal with things. And and now I can make a decision for myself if that's how I want to also be, or if I want to change it and do something different. So I don't think they're whatever their millennial group is called. I don't think they paid attention. That's the geriatric. Oh, baby boomers. Yes, there they are. That's what they were. I don't think they necessarily deal with it. They probably still don't deal with it because their parents didn't deal. But I think we are all at a age where we're like, we're going to change that. Mm-hmm. And it, just like she was saying, when our children get together and they say those words, it warms my heart because it means we're doing the work without knowing we're really doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely want to have you guys talk about the gala coming up on October 14th, the Glitter and Gold Angel Ball.
It's so exciting. It's going to be such a beautiful, impactful night. So it is a Glitter and Gold Angel Ball. It's Saturday, October 14th at the Charles Mack Citizen Center in Mooresville. And it's just going to be a night of fun. We're going to have food and cocktails. There's going to be a live band and amazing speakers, amazing conversation, and auctions. And I'll let you tell more about it.
Well, dancing and all the good food and just all the fun stuff that you get to get your fancy on for a good cause and learn more about who we are, how you can leave an impact, how you can change children's lives, families' lives that you may not even know. And it's amazing to me. We say it quite often that we always run into somebody when we have these conversations that has been affected or has been around foster care in some kind of way. Mm-hmm. So that lets me know that it's closer to a lot of people's reality than they may assume. And if you come out that night, you can learn more about who we are and what we're trying to do to reach every child in our community, to make sure that they have the tools necessary to be successful in life. So we cannot be more excited about that. I mean, if I could shoot off balloons and fireworks behind me, I would.
WBTV's Mary King's going to host, and Mia Thornton from the Real Housewives of Potomac will be hosting as well. And her own experience with foster care, she's going to share that. But yeah, it's just going to be a great night. And like she said, we have come to realize, I don't know why we're still shocked anymore, actually, now that I think about it. Sure. When we hear people and their connection with foster care, when they share that with us, I think what it is it's still such a, not taboo, but it's still something that people just don't talk about. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, foster care. And while there are a lot of things we need to be, respectful of or keep private or, those other things, it's not something we should be ashamed to talk about. Foster care is in a crisis right now. North Carolina is in a crisis right now when it comes to foster care. There's like 5,500 homes, licensed homes, but we have over 10,000 children in care. So if you do the math, I'm not great at it. That's not good. Mm-hmm. That's not good. Yeah. There are children sleeping in DSS offices. There are children that are just being put in homes that maybe have too many, and it's not healthy to have that many. So it's a crisis. We need a lot more people to be willing to look into foster care if it's something they can do. And if they can't, that's okay. Like we have our saying, if you can't foster, that's okay. Volunteer. If you can't volunteer, donate. If you can't donate, just share about it. Just spread the word. So we appreciate you sharing about this and talking about our Angel Ball coming up. If you want to get tickets, there are still tickets available. You can go to charlotteangels.org and get your tickets there. We'll actually give you a code that you can share with everybody to get a discounted tickets. And yeah, it'll be a really good time. Great night.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank y'all for, wanting to come on, and thank you just regardless of the show for doing what y'all are doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing, because that's spreading the goodness. That's just what we need to be doing. I mean, just like she just said, everybody can do something. You can do something. And at minimum, spreading the word. You never know who you may touch, who could be thinking about it and they don't even know why they're thinking about it, or, if that's really something that they want to do. They could be on the fence about wanting to get licensed. And that's something that if you talk about it and you're open with people, when you learn more, you seem more, adept and equipped to work with whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So whether that be a volunteer, as a mentor, as a volunteer with one of our Love Box programs. And listen, even if you don't want to volunteer on your own, you could get your coworkers together. We have Love Box groups, so folks can do it together. They can all put in money together to provide the Love Box to our families, which is just we do seasonal ones, but they monthly they can give them things like board games, laundry detergent, movies, just things that kind of help the whole family be a family. And they provide dinner for them occasionally. We have volunteers that do all sorts of things. And every the lovely thing is that every family is different, and every family's needs are different. And sometimes it takes the caregivers a while to warm up to the idea of asking for help. So
that's how I am.
by itself.
I know. I always say to them, I am not one who would be like, it would take me a little while to warm up. But we have families who it's all case by case by what they're looking for too. If we have people who've just said, but when they get comfortable, hey, can you just come play with the kids in the backyard for an hour so I can go take a bath, like without having somebody at my door, little hands under there? Can you come and just color with the kids so I can get caught up on laundry? It's just those things. And I encourage people to kind of think of their own life and what maybe they let go. Laundry is definitely mine. Laundry, if you could see it piles up. That's my thing that I just explode one day and realize I got to get caught up. And I don't have all of the running around to therapy and doctor's appointments and school and all the other things that these caregivers do. So, think when you're running your household, the things that you would like a little bit of help with to take off, that burden. That's what we're trying to do for them.
That's what they need. Yeah.
I understand. Well, I'll definitely put the website in the description of the episode. Do you guys want to give any shout out to the Instagram or anything else you would like people to check out?
Yeah, Instagram is great. It's Charlotte Angels Nonprofit, and I'll go ahead and give you a code that you can put underneath there as well that everybody can use to get discounted tickets.
Awesome. Well, that is it, ladies. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I hope you had a good time.
We did.
Thank you
for having us.
Yes, thank you so much. And I hope to meet both of y'all in person one day.
Yes.
Absolutely. Come to the gala.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll be there. We'll be the first faces anybody sees.
And it's so cool that y'all have that, Charlotte connection that you've been here a long time. That's always the extra sauce. That's awesome. All right. Well, I will be in touch. And like I said, not to sound like a broken record, but thanks for wanting to come on and thanks for doing all the things that y'all are doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
What up?